Good day. I'm the director at QAhatesyou.com. So who do you know over in the customer support department or tech support department of your organization? Do you have an agent over there, somebody feeding you intelligence about what your users are doing? You should. And today we're going to talk about why. So, director, you're saying, what do you mean by a customer support department? Probably not saying that you know what I mean, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I'm talking about that warren of cubicles with people and headsets logging user calls and issues into an expensive database solution. Or I'm talking about the intern who's taking those phone calls and writing down little notes on post-it notes and passing them along. Maybe you're a project shop and you don't actually have a customer support department, but your client's got somebody who's either answering the phones and writing on post-it notes or entering that stuff into a database solution. Regardless, somebody out there is getting the front line of contact from users who have problems and who can give you some insight not only into what the users are encountering, but also, if you're paying a little bit of attention and being imaginative, they'll provide you with information about how you can improve your software to reduce the number of calls and contacts that those users make, as well as some insight into different things that you can try to do to your software that your users are probably doing already. Now, one of the first things that you can glean from those custom database solutions or from your conversations with your customer support professionals is what those stupid users are doing. Now, in this sense, I mean a stupid user is someone who is not spending 8 to 10 hours a day wrapped up in your software, building it, testing it, documenting it, and all of the various and sundry things that go along with building software. Instead, those users are steeped in the nomenclature of their industry. They're spending their 8 to 10 hours a day doing their jobs, of which your software is only a small part. And to be honest, sometimes a reluctant part. Now, those guys out there in the field, those users of yours, are out there doing their jobs, making shortcuts, trying to get from point A to point B with your software as fast as they can so they can get back to servicing their customers, to building their particular widgets, to operating their drill presses, whatever they're out there doing. Now, your user stories, user scenarios, all the little documentation that we build in the software industry only partially captures what they're doing. Those guys out there are like monkeys with a million typewriters banging away on your software in a fashion that you, QA, can really only capture part of in the lab. Now, when you get the chance, you read through some of those things, some of those issues, some of those customer support contact things, and you'll find out some of the things your users are doing, things that you might not have thought of, things that your organization probably never thought of because no user would ever do that. And then, oh, you can build new test cases. You can build new ideas. You can get a better understanding of what your clients and users are doing. And you can use that knowledge against those stupid developers. And in this sense, I mean stupid developers in the sense of, well, stupid developers. People who think that building your software is just their side job and their true vocation is building their open source mobile device random flash mob action and location generator that is their life's purpose. That's stupid. Now, another thing that these customer support tickets are going to capture for you, hopefully if yours is a robust enough system and your intern thinks to ask when he answers the phone, they're also going to capture things about the software environment. The hardware, the platform, the operating systems, the browsers, the plugin levels, whatever they can. Unless you're Apple and you've got everything locked down very tightly, your organization assumes that there is going to be some sort of set of operating environments in which the software is going to be installed and working. Now, you guys can make an educated guess, and unless you guys are installing it very strictly, in the computer center, customers and clients are going to install that stuff everywhere. So you might find that the subset of potential platforms upon which you've tested and your organization thinks are important are not necessarily what the users are using. To give you an example, when I was working in the interactive marketing agency, circa 2005, one of our main sources of consumer contacts were users, this is an end user consumer situation, who were using web TV in 2005. Strangely enough, data collection forms and, anything using, I don't know, this new technology, JavaScript, didn't work so well in the old web TV browsers. But on the basis of learning a little something about our environment, we certainly didn't adapt the software to work with web TV, but what we did do was we inserted a browser capture, and if the browser string for web TV came in, we displayed an alternate message that said, hey, get a real browser, guys. And that cut down on the customer support calls. In that case, there was a web TV emulator. We could check that easily, and it made us look a little bit better. It helped our customers out and our customers' users out in that they were no longer frustrating themselves trying to enter contests and finding out only at the very last minute that there was something wrong. Now, this is a good example of what you can determine from the customer support contacts, and if you can find out information about environments, maybe you don't have to go out and buy yourself a new set of hardware, although, hey, put it in the QA budget for next year, I would. But at least you can maybe find alternate solutions to keep the users out of trouble. And thirdly, something else that you can find in the customer support requests that your organization captures is, hey, I don't know. If this were a 5-paragraph essay I were turning in to my high school comp teacher, I'd be in a world of hurt because I only got 2 examples. Now that third example of what you're going to find is, well, something you're going to have to find. There's going to be some information in there, some new ideas that should spark an explosion of dark creativity within you. I would hope it will. So what I'm saying then is pay attention to the customer support things. Get a mole. Cultivate some relationships over there. There are things that you can learn from those guys about how to better challenge your developers to build better software. And that's what we're all about here, right? Well, as a side effect of challenging the developers. So, this is the director from QAhatesyou.com, and wishing you good testing or bad testing, whichever you prefer.